Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. If you clicked on the video because you thought I was gonna say I'm done making YouTube videos, I got you, and it worked. So thanks for watching. But no, we're not done making YouTube videos, not at all. But I wanted to do a video this week, just like a shop update, channel update, that sort of thing, and let you know what we got going on. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the couple projects that we've been working on in the shop as well as out of the shop. I have been out of the shop a lot lately because we've just had multiple installs going on, and I'm either on site, like delivering stuff and getting Greg set up to install, or I helped him on a project this week, and then I was out installing other projects as well. So my shop time has been limited, but we are seriously like in the thick of it. This whole summer, really, it has just been absolute madness with all these different projects, and it's great. Like, we're getting them done. We're checking things off the list. This past week was a big week. Me and Rowdy were out on a different job site every day, and just getting stuff checked off, which feels amazing to just kind of check things off the. But we're far from over. So we have a big project in the shop right now that I'm working on a full build video for next weekend. It's a kitchen, pantry, a laundry room, and then there's a couple vanities as well. And the island for this video, or for this project, will be a separate video all on its own because it's really cool. It looks like a piece of furniture. It's white oak, and that's going to be really fun. So that will be another video as well. But I'm going to show you guys around the shop, show you the progress and where we're at right now with this project, and then I'm also going to show you around some job sites and some other projects that we've been working on. If you stay tuned till the end, I will have a couple minutes of footage from AWFS, where we went a couple weeks ago in Vegas to the show and saw some really cool stuff. So let's get into it, and we will head out to a couple job sites. And here we are, getting this lower section of this pantry installed in the pantry. And if you guys remember this room, I had mentioned this room is really small. So getting this thing through the door, I knew was going to be a challenge. I had to go in this side because the opening on that other side was a little bit narrower and I couldn't get it through. So I had to come in on that side. So we needed to remove the door. And these are some giant 8-foot doors. But we got that removed, and then I was able to wheel this thing into the room. At one point, I did think I was going to have to kind of take it completely apart to get it in there. And then once I got it through the door, I couldn't spin it all the way around. And so I had to stand it up and spin it and then lay it back down. And I was by myself. So this also presented a challenge because this thing is not light. All right, so once I got it stood up, I was able to shimmy it around, spin it, and then lay it back down. Now we can only install the lowers in here because we had to get them in, and then they're going to put countertops in here, and then the upper section with all the open shelving on top will go in afterwards. And the shelving up top is going to be really cool. It's going to have some integrated lighting and stuff, and it should look pretty cool in this space. And always a relief when the cabinet fits. Perfect. All right, so then I got everything shimmed up. I could put the shelves in. I had this whole thing together, and I did have to remove the shelves, and I removed that end panel because with that end panel on, it was a little bit too wide to make it through the door. Then I brought in the lower cabinet that goes to the right there, got that installed. and then we were done at this job for the day. So we finished setting the island that day as well. They can template that. You can see they got the other countertops on, and there's a bunch of stuff going on with the backsplash on this job. I'll explain it a little bit later in the video, but yeah, this job is coming along. Install has to be done in multiple phases because we need countertops and stuff like that. We got this little bar area there. It's going to get some floating shelves and an upper cabinet. Then the next day we were at our beaded inset job, and this crown molding is a 4-piece crown that we made. Rowdy actually made all the parts for this, and I'm stoked with how it turned out. Me and Greg got in there and installed all the crown. And yeah, this is another one. It's coming together. Almost done. Countertops going in this week, and then we will be almost at the finish line with this project. All right, so back at the shop, we are, like I said, we have this one project we're working on right now. It is kitchen, pantry, laundry room, and 2 vanities. And we are about in the middle of it. We have got to finish some assembly this week of the boxes, putting the drawers in, making sure the doors and drawer fronts fit, and then we're going to be finishing everything. Most of it is paint grade. The 2 vanities and the island in the kitchen are white oak, and they're going to be getting stained, but everything else is paint grade. And so this project we cut on Friday. I cut 27 sheets of plywood, or 26 or 27. And my process for cutting plywood, you'll kind of see in the build video next week. But I do all my rips first, and then I've been stacking them here in all the different widths. We've got, rips for shelving, and then for our upper cabinets, and then more shelving and other upper cabinets. And I like to rip everything and stack it right here. I obviously, this other pile was like this high for all the lowers, and I obviously can't really stack those on a cart because I've had carts break before where the casters fall off because I've had too much weight on them. And the OSB floor is great. It's great to work on. But when I have a cart loaded up that heavy with plywood, the casters kind of dig into the OSB. So it's not ideal for rolling super heavy carts on top of it. But this has worked out great. I'll do all my rips, stack everything here, and then I can just grab a sheet and start cross cutting. And then they go on carts, because I can put them on smaller piles on smaller carts. And so anyways, the saw has been working really great. We've got it dialed in, and it's working really nice. It makes this process go really fast. And so yeah, that's kind of where we're at with our plywood. Most of the plywood is cut. All the plywood for the lowers is cut. The rest is just for some uppers and some shelving and stuff like that. All right, so here's our pile of doors for this job. So I've been ordering doors just because it's been working out really great, and with the amount of work that we have, it just kind of makes sense to do so. So these are mostly paint grade doors. I've got a bunch of the oak stuff over there for the vanities because I was fitting those yesterday. But pretty simple doors. These are shaker paint grade, and they have a reverse raised panel on them. Panel's 3/8, and they're really nice. These are they're sanded, they're ready for paint. Edges are broken, and we can put a box together, grab if it's a drawer bank, we can make sure the drawer fronts are the right size, and then we can stack them off to the side for painting. If it's a cabinet that gets doors, we'll put the box together, hang the doors, and then again take those and put them in a pile and know that they're ready to be painted. We've got some other random parts over here, some adjustable shelves and toe kicks for another job. We've got my kids' bikes from the move. They ended up in my truck one day, and now they have been in the shop for weeks, so I need to get those out of here. But yeah, these the company I order from it's over in the valley. It's called cabdoor.com, and they've so far everything from them has turned out really great, and they're fast. Like, I got these doors in a week, and this pile was bigger than you're seeing right here. All right, so moving along in the shop, we've got this cart filled with these micro shaker rift white oak doors, and these are for the job we were just at, where we did that pantry video a couple weeks ago. And so yeah, you saw all the lowers are installed and the countertops. Most of the uppers on this project sit on top of the countertops, but this job has it's kind of at a standstill for us while the contractor does some he's putting on the backsplash. They're taking the slab material and they made these panels, and they're going to be like these sliding panels with spice racks behind them, and it's going to be really cool. But they've got to get the tracks installed and stuff like that, and then we can kind of install all our uppers around that. So once they're done with that, we'll get back in and finish that job. But I'm excited to show you guys this project because it's going to be really, really cool. All the upper cabinets for these are put together over there. We just need to get the doors off the rack and hang them on the boxes. We've got some of them done, but that's easy, just putting the doors on, and then we can deliver that stuff and finish up with the install. All right, and this is for the other project that we're working on right now. So this is the master vanity, the primary vanity, and this has these two towers, these two big cabinets over here that sit on top of these. The countertop will go, and then those sit on top. Got two sinks, a bunch of drawers. It's all flats on white oak, and yeah, just a pretty standard vanity, and it's going to be pretty cool. All right, and then into the spray room. So the spray room still is not, it's great. All this extra space is great. If we didn't have this extra space, all this crap would be in here. We wouldn't be able to move. But the way we're kind of utilizing this right now is Roger's been in here. My brother-in-law, he's back, which is great. He's been in here. So he's assembling things. Alex has been assembling boxes, and then they kind of will take a box at a time, grab the drawer fronts or the doors, like I said, make sure they fit, hang the doors, and then we'll push these boxes off and we'll stack them up out there, and bring everything that needs to get painted will come in here for paint later this week. My plan with this room is I've got to get some kind of shelving and stuff back on this wall, just so we have a spot for when we finish painting items that are going to be in here for a little bit. We can put them on the shelf, and just to get things up off the floor and give us a little more space to move around in here. Other than that, the extra space has been great, and if we didn't have it, we would be we'd be in trouble. Before we expanded, there was obviously a wall here, and this was the spray room, and I used to have the pumps in here because they had to be in here, but last week I took them and I built this little bench out here, moved them out of the spray room, and so now it gives us much more room to spray in there, which is great. And then that's really the only change that I've made in this room. And then let's see. And then back over here, we've got the upper sections for that pantry unit. These are all finished and ready to go. These are the other upper cabinets for this job, ready to go. And this stuff is, like I said, it's just kind of waiting. We will probably get it out of here this week and at least get it delivered, just so it's out of our way. This is for the other job I just showed you guys with the that beaded inset project. They're putting the countertops in there this week, and then we can go install this cabinet that sits on top and finish the crown on that one section of cabinets. And then that job will be done, which will be really nice. All right, so that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Just a quick little shop update. It is, like I said, we have been in the thick of it this summer. This has been by far the busiest year that I've had in business since I started in 2018, and I couldn't do it without all the guys, without Rowdy and Alex and Roger, and grateful to have them. And it's nice to be able to leave the shop and go out and do installs and know that things are getting done here and they're getting done well. And yeah, couldn't do it without the team. So yeah, grateful for that. Grateful for all my clients and everything like that and all the work. And yeah, we're just going to keep pressing ahead and get these knocked out. We've got a giant job after this one that I think we'll have a little bit more time on, which will be nice, to not feel so much pressure on to get it done. But yeah, that's it. Shirts, still have shirts available over on the website. Link is below. But let's go to AWFS and I'll just show you around there a little bit and show you some of the cool stuff we saw. And stay tuned next week for a build video. Have a good day. Welcome to Vegas. This is actually my first time ever going to Vegas. So it was interesting, to say the least. We were literally only there for like 36 hours. We flew in late in the afternoon, went and had dinner with the LAMELLO guys, and then the next day we went to the show and flew home that night. And it was really fun. It was great to meet the guys from LAMELLO in person and just kind of chop it up with them, and then be at the show and see some really interesting stuff. A lot of it, honestly, is out of my league. This thing right here was really cool. This is an edge sander. It looks just like an edge bander, but it is for sanding the edges of things. So you can take like a cabinet door and put it through and it feeds it. It's got like 3 orbital sanders, sands the edge, also breaks the edge, and your door or your parts will come out sanded and ready to go. Like I said, something like this, out of our league, not something that I will probably ever have, but it is really cool. There's a LAMELLO booth, Chris and the guys demonstrating the amazing LAMELLO products. My affiliate link is down in the description below if you need a LAMELLO. And then just all kinds of cool stuff, like this whole spray system with these racks to make you hang your doors, and it's kind of like you can just feed them through and spray them. There's a Stribig panel saw, which are pretty amazing, and I've seriously thought about putting one in the shop. Some giant spray systems that wouldn't even fit in my shop, that are like bigger than my shop. This thing was really cool. So these are these MDF doors, and it's got this robotic arm, and what it's doing right now is it's putting a little bead of glue around the inside of that panel, and then it actually picks up the MDF panel, puts it into the frame, and then it picks it up and it goes into another press and it glues it up, like clamps it up for it to dry. This same company had these like robotic, you could take a cabinet door and put it down, and it had like a robotic sander on it, and it would sand the whole door. Just some really, really cool stuff. The technology that's out there is just wild. So there's a press, so it would slide over, and then you put it in there and it would press it down. This company had some cool hardware for mounting floating shelves. So it's just those plastic clips, and you see them slide it over and it like locks on. Those are pretty cool. I could see us using those. This company's strip locks. We stopped by the Celiche booth to check out some of their pocket door hardware. Them and Bloom had some really, really cool hardware. I don't remember the names of all this stuff. They all have these different names, but just some really cool stuff. Here you could just see around the show a little bit, some different booths. Had to stop by the Laguna booth check out what they had. Bunch of CNCs, really nice planer. Would love to put that thing in my shop. And a nice big joiner, and that was really it, guys. I didn't get a ton of footage, but we had a good time. It's fun to meet some of you guys out there, and that's it. See you guys in the next one.